Hey, what's up guys, Mashen here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about something that I have talked about a month ago. However, it needs a follow-up video because it's starting to go absolutely nuclear at this point. We are starting to see some crazy amounts of profits coming in, and we're obviously talking about the glove case here if you couldn't tell already. We're going to be talking everything about it, doing a little update video, and I think it's definitely worth a watch. Before we hop on into this one though, if you guys are looking to pick up any CSGO skins or potentially some glove cases, I've got a couple links in the description that'll help you out. Let's hop on into it. First up here, we gotta head all the way back to November 24th, where I made a video called What to Invest Into Right Now. In that video, I talked about the glove case. We were sitting at 93,000 of these at $1.40. Now, the price point here is actually not the most important. Obviously, we do want to pay attention to it, but the big thing we're focusing on right now is the quantity. 93,000 of these available at that $1.40 quantity. This is very important because when we move into December here, we're now looking at 55,000 of these. That's a 38,000 decrease in these cases. I mean, that's a very significant amount of cases. And when we look for today, you're definitely going to see how big this actually was. That's about almost 40% of these cases disappearing from the market, which is really crazy when you think about it. Because as you'll see in a moment, the amount of cases we have on the market now is less than the difference between these 2 months. Now this one, we've got 38,000 cases left, but we're only up about 15 cents here. This though is important because on the right hand side, we can see that those buy orders are growing. The price point is great and all, but however, if the buy orders are not growing along with it, we can see a lot of small gains and big losses. It's something we see with the Shatter Web case a lot, where the price goes up to $1.10. However, it falls right back down to $1 because there's not enough demand for that case at $1.10 yet, and there's not buy orders listed at $1.10. They're all at 99 cents. And finally, we arrive to today where we're looking at 26,000. That can't be right. There's only 26,000 of these listed on the market, and that number's probably less by the time you're seeing that video. So we'll say 26,000 of these on the market. That's extremely low. How did we get to this point? Well, first up, we got to look at our price point here. Although our cases are down significantly since 2 months ago, we were at 93,000. Now we're at potentially 25,000 cases. That's a big decrease. That's 68,000 cases, which is almost 3 times what we've got on the market right now. And our price point is up about 50% where we started. We were at about $1.40 then. Now we're looking at just above $2. So there's definitely a price increase. However, it's not really proportional to the amount of cases we're seeing on the market, which is really interesting. However, that's not really a factor we can use to account for anything major. And today I'm really going to be giving you guys the runaround because we're now heading back to one of my more recent videos where I talked about the biggest gainers and the biggest losers between November and December, talking about cases unboxed in the percentage form here. Now surprisingly, the glove case actually came in as one of only a handful of losers here. And it didn't just like stay even or drop a couple percent, it lost 16% of the amount of them opened here. Now these are rough estimates, but it does raise the question of where are these cases going. Now this definitely leads to a lot of squeeze behavior where people are picking up these for investment purposes rather than to unbox them, which is good and bad. That means usually the price is going to flare up a little bit more quickly. However, that means there's going to be a definite peak and most likely a collapse as well with the price. Just to give you a little comparison as well with that, in that video we had the Breakout, the Phoenix, and a bunch of other popular cases. Like the glove case is a popular case to invest into right now. We've got some other ones like the Breakout and the Phoenix. Those ones all trended positive. The glove case was one of only a few, like I've stated, that went negative, which is extremely interesting because you think even though there's a lot of them being unboxed, I'd still think they would be able to retain just because of how many are out there. However, it seems we're running into quite a shortage of them. Now, if we want to go 100% off the last year's bubble that we saw, it's not going to be very professional. It's not something you should do, but I just want to give you an example here of what realistically we're looking at here. We saw a lot of growth in the month or two upcoming, obviously, but what we really saw at the end was major dollar changes. I mean, this case went from $2.40 to $2.90 in one day. Now, these are the average prices, but that was at the very tip of the bubble. Right now, I'd say we're moving up about a couple cents a day, 2 cents-ish, which is what we're seeing in this red period here. This red period is what we saw where we're still going up in price, but it's not as significant. Then we've got the orange period here. The orange period looks like it lasts about 2 weeks here, and then we finally go into the yellow period here, which is when we're in that major bubble. But that only lasts for 2 days. Right now, I think it's definitely not going to be looking like that yellow yet. However, that yellow was caused 100% by the supply of this case on the market. There was only about 10,000 or less. However, what we're seeing right now is looking a lot more sustainable than last time. This is the only image I could really come up with, and as you'll notice, May 24th, about a week, maybe 10 days before we saw that major peak. However, this one is a little bit different. This one, we still had about the same amount of glove cases as we do now. However, this one had a couple of motivating factors. First up, we had the operation that was already ended. I think the glove case definitely has a lot of room to grow still because we haven't ended that operation yet and people are still actively involved in the game. Plus, with the potential new case of dreams and nightmares down the line, people are definitely still interested in the game, and especially more than what we saw previously. Also in that video, I also mentioned about the big three that I like to call. The big three conclude of the esports 2013 case, the Bravo, and the weapon case 1. These cases are all extremely old, and in that video we mentioned that there's about 100 esports and 200 of the other ones, which as we know right now is not even close to what we're sitting at currently with those big three. We've got about 4 times the amount of esports, 3 to 4 times, and we've got at least 2 to 3 times what we're sitting at with the Bravo case. So these ones are not super comparable. Last time we just saw a lot of hype really quickly going to the glove case, as those big three offer a lot of potential for new investors to the scene. They see how expensive those cases can get, and therefore they're very interested in trying to get into a different case early enough to the point where they could potentially 20x their dollars. Overall though, when we're looking at the glove case here, I think there's definitely a lot of potential. The problem is this one looks like it's going to squeeze once again. We're going to see a very small amount of quantity on the market, and we're going to see that price run up really quickly rather than this growth being sustained for a long period of time. We've seen almost 68,000 cases disappear from the market in the past 2 months, and that's about 3 times what we're sitting with on the market right now. Overall, you're definitely going to have to look for the squeeze if you're looking to make a ton of money. But as always guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.